All right, guys, happy Monday, June 9th, coming to you alive, feeling excited, feeling grateful, feeling like my cup is plenty full. And I'll tell you what, I have a new relationship with minivans. Now, if you have a minivan on here, no shade to anybody that has a minivan. Some of you might need a minivan. You're not willing to go to a minivan. But Ophelia, I don't know if it's you. Hey, listen, I'm no shade to you. I thought you drove a Tesla. But anyways, I found that the Chrysler was very roomy and it bumped and I had great tint and it was very spacious for me and for the family. And so to all you minivan owners out there, I kind of get it. I understand, but we had a great day, a great weekend. Went down to Santa Monica to see the family. It was just really, really cool, you guys. Once again, continuously tell yourself who's impacted by the result of my success, who's impacted by the result of my success. And it was super cool to be able to go on the beach. We didn't do much. We just sat at the beach and we just chilled and we had some food and found this dope Mexican spot. But I'll tell you what, it was an amazing, amazing weekend. So we rented the Chrysler, what was it? Chrysler, what's the minivan? I can't even remember the name of it. Anyways, it's not a Sebring. If you know the name, Ophelia, please shop it down below. But anyways, you guys, I'm coming to you feeling excited, feeling alive, feeling fresh, feeling ready to go. So Ophelia, I'm actually going to turn it over to you because I saw your big smiles on this Monday morning. I'm going to love to turn the mic over to you. So Ophelia, go ahead, sock him in the stomach with it this morning. What do you got for us?
That's hilarious. I still remember you just talking heck of smack because I brought my big old Honda Odyssey up to Sacramento. You're like, you're taking up like hella spots at the Sacramento parking lot. It's like, shut the hell
You
up.
remember, you remember Adrian Reliza on our team? Remember when she was? All right, so she had, I don't know if it was a Sienna, but it was dropped. It had a system. Like she came correct to Hustler's Lunch one time. But Ophelia, I'll turn it over to you. Bring us out on the field on this beautiful Monday.
Oh, well, I'm feeling really refreshed. It's been such a long time that so here's the key word. Consistency is not linear. Consistency is like up, down, sideways, back a couple steps, and you just got to keep getting back up. And I come with that because I have had an injury in my knee and then my ab, and it's just demoralizing. You're like, I don't want to do nothing with life. But if you just keep pushing through those moments, it's just one day is gonna break. And this past weekend, my son started doing cross country, and he goes, "Come with me." I'm like, "No, baby, I can't. It's been so long." I did 3 miles. I did 3 miles with my son. I was like, "This is oh my god!" And I didn't want to do it because I was still scared. But I didn't. The work at the gym, it paid off. So, anyways, consistency, y'all. It's not linear. You fall, you get back up. You fall, you get back up. The point is just keep getting back up.
I love it. You know, at 3 miles, that's a kick in the ass, especially if you haven't ran kick at 3 miles in a while. Like a 3 miles is a kick in the ass.
It's got to be like easy 3 years. The
Wow.
last 5K. So
You know, I believe that at 2 miles, if you're gonna run, if something happens at 2 miles, your mind starts to shift, your body starts to relax, your breathing is a little bit more controllable. But that first mile, it's just like anything. That first mile in business is really, really hard. That second mile, you start to find a groove, start to find your systems, you start to, get into this cadence, and it's the same thing with running. And so, Ophelia, shout out to you because 3 miles is not easy, and it takes a toll on our knees, right? It takes a toll on our knees, but I appreciate you sharing that, you guys. So listen, we're going to get right into today's session. Got some stuff prepared. I want to share some things with you guys, but super, super excited. Let's see if I have any guests on the line today. No, I do not, but let's let Nicholas Snow in right now. All right, cool, you guys. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to go over to, before I go there, I'm going to go to Hugo. Hugo, I'm going to have you read what's on the screen in just a moment, big dog. So be prepared, be ready to go. I'm going to present this, and then I am going to turn it over to Hugo. Hugo, go ahead and share this, my man. Read this out loud to your peers. Let's roll.
Our excuses aren't special. Everyone is busy. Everyone is tired. Everyone has obstacles. The difference isn't the circumstance, it's the mindset. Winners find a way, everyone else finds a reason why they can't. Decide which one you are.
I'm just going to leave that there for a quick second, you guys. I think this is powerful, but it's very simple. You've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again, time and time, over and over and over and over. Our excuses are not special. Every single one of you on this call has something going on in life. Everyone has, circumstances, whether you have family members, whether you have children. Today, I had to drop Lily off at day camp or summer camp. Then I had to take Silas to summer school. We're all busy, you guys. We're all busy, but it's in those moments when we say, you know what, despite having children, despite having sick parents, despite having a sick grandmother, grandpa, whatever's going on, I'm still going to show up no matter what. And in that mindset shift is when you truly are going to win in life and business. You might not want to go to the gym, but you know what? You were tired, you were beat up, you were sore from the day before, but you still went. You still went, right? You didn't want a door knock, but you still went. But you didn't want to host the open house. You felt like, oh, it's my Saturday, I'm going to sleep in, but you still went. And so I appreciate you guys looking at this, and I appreciate you, Hugo, reading this. For the people that see this, how many people on this call want to just share how this lands for you? Where's your mind go? Does anybody want to share their thoughts, contribution on this quote before we get rolling? Anybody have a thought, contribution, insight? Let's go, Otis. I knew you'd raise your hand on this one, big dog. But let's go, Nicole. You'll be on deck. Let's roll.
First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody that tapped in from the team. I truly appreciate this team. I mean, I know that we see each other sometimes just here on the screen and not even in person, but all the well wishes, all the prayers, I totally appreciate it. This one hits really hard. This week's been really tough. Um, my aunt got in a very, very bad car accident in Jackson, Mississippi, literally a month before we're heading out there for a family reunion. It was looking really bad, but the prior prayer and your guys' help and a lot of other people's help, she's doing well. She's got traumatic little brain injury that they had to do to stop the bleeding. So she woke up yesterday morning. She got a broke shoulder, a few ribs. Biggest thing was she was in the car with her friend and the 3-year-old baby, and the baby broke his back. So it's just been tough. And my other aunt, her sister, both my dad's sisters, scheduled to have open heart surgery on Tuesday. So just a lot, since I've been on this team, I know a lot of you guys that have been here since I've been on, and Elias, I know I've been dealt like shitty hand towards losing a lot of people. So not trying to lose both my aunts. So I definitely appreciate everybody's power of prayer, but didn't let it stop me. I mean, any person would want to stop, but me, I just need to keep going. I want to thank my partners, Gary and Jacob, for holding me down. But what kind of leader or what kind of partner would I be if I wasn't going to show up? So with all that going on, I still showed up to the open house, still got work going done, still got us hopefully a listing appointment with Jacob this week and Gary. So just been trying to push through all the negativity that's been put on my plate. And it's kind of how we have to work in tandem with real estate. Like we never know what type of shit sandwich or gourmet filet mignon we're going to be getting, but we make the best of it. So I just wanted to hop on here and explain that and just say thank you to everybody that reached out, man, because I totally appreciate you guys.
Well, Otis, my man, we're here for you no matter what, and I'm glad that your aunt is doing well. Hopefully, the baby is healing fast, and it's just another reflection, right? We never know what tomorrow's going to hold, and so call somebody today. I just want you guys to call somebody today. Tell them that you're thinking about them, you love them. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a cousin, maybe it's an aunt, maybe it's a homie you haven't talked to in a minute. Just call somebody today and tell them that you love them. Can we all do that? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let's go, Nicole. What have we got? And then Mary, you are up next.
So I was a little late, but I hopped on while he was going to read it. And it hit because it's like, at the end of the day, we got to find a way. You all know what I'm dealing with. It might seem like it's done, but it's not. I'm still dealing with this shit. I still have chemo every 28 days. I still have a million doctor's appointments. But I'm not letting that slow me down. I'm just making adjustments. Like I'm out walking now. I'm trying to get 13,000 steps before I go to the doctor because I realize I'm getting a little tired, a little extra around the middle, and it's not healthy. At first, I wasn't tripping about it because that's where they do my infusion. I get a shot of 15 cc's into my stomach when I go in for the treatment. So I was keeping that little extra, but it's not helping me get any healthier. So working on it. You got to find a way.
You know, Nicole, I love this. I love this. Listen, you guys, I'm going to pause for a quick second. If you guys have the ability to get in this moment and truly, truly be present, Nicole, as you guys know, has battled cancer. She said, well, she put a little extra weight on, but it was okay because that's where the shot was going in her stomach. But she said, no, 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 no way. I'm still going to push myself because I know that I need to be healthier. I know I need to get my steps in. I know I need to make sure to prioritize my health. I'm getting tired. She's getting tired because she's fucking doing chemo and that takes her out, but she's still out there walking 13,000 steps in the morning. I mean, what more do you guys need? And what more inspiration do you need to be present, to be here with your cameras on when someone's sharing about their journey and how they've battled through cancer? I mean, I don't know. I could say it all day long, get here, be present, be in this moment, but I'll tell you what, you guys, allow this room to inspire you to be present and be in this moment. So Nicole, much love. Appreciate you sharing as always. We're going to go to Maori. Maori, you're up. And then Hugo, you are on deck. And then we're going to shift gears in the conversation. Let's go, Maori. What do we got for him?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm not going to show my face, you guys. I am in the shower, brushing my teeth, listening to everybody here.
All right, we understand that.
I just want to say thank you so much, Coach Elias. You are an amazing human being. You are. I feel like you may have like this psychic, um, reading thing where you can just kind of sense your peeps, and saying all the right things, the right time. So I just want to thank you for that. So, gosh, I'm going through a lot too, and I think that you always tend to hit the nail on the head. Um, Family stuff, housing stuff, just a lot of personal stuff that is definitely doing a lot. But first and foremost, I have always relied on real estate pretty much for everything, especially my business, to keep me going. Because the fact that I feel like I have a purpose and I have a reason behind that, and that is just helping people um, and just being there and being present. So, real estate has never let me down. And I know with everything that's happening, um, I just feel like it's definitely mindset and that you just have to keep pushing through. Um, I joined the team in March, and at that time, I was probably, to be quite honest with you guys, at my most vulnerable point in my life in terms of like just trying to see if real estate was really for me, if I should go back to my corporate work, what should I do? And honestly, just coming back, going into the office day in and day out, interacting with other agents, they're like family now. It is just so inspiring and just so, I'm grateful just for being in their presence and just, going through the journey together and hearing these success stories and everybody just, you know, very positive about everything and sharing their strategies and their ideas. So I truly appreciate that. And that is something that, I feel um, for anyone that is going through it, come to the office. I'm there and you guys can hang out. We can, run scenarios, talk about deals, talk about, objection handling, whatever it is. I'm there. If you guys see me, please come up and say hi. But long story short, I've been hosting a lot of open houses. I've been door knocking. And I was able to develop 2, 3 buyers, and I've been submitting offers left and right and going on tours. In the process of getting in contract right now too. I'm not sure if you guys see me on social media, but yesterday I posted a story where I went on this tour with my daughter, and my daughter's been my real estate baby since day one. Pretty much was a married single mom. So we'd go on tours together. Yesterday we went to this artist, I guess, home in Jingletown, and it was hilarious because she's just only 8 years old. And this was like a visual art where they have like, the male like parts hanging on the walls. And she was like, what's that? And just couldn't help it. It was like a funny experience ever. But this is just the quirk of being real estate and hustling and do whatever it works, whatever it takes to show up and regain control of your life and take that power back. So I just want to say thank you so much.
appreciate you, Mary. All the messaging, but I accidentally took my kids when they were younger, the girls, to a street fair on Fremont Street, I think, in San Francisco.
Oops. Yeah.
It was an ups. The kids were like, all right, we gotta go. We gotta go. But Mary, I love it. I appreciate you. But she said something. And I want you guys to think about this for a second. Real estate will never let you down. And what I mean by that is that the opportunity for each of you to go out there and make 20 G's, 30 G's, I sell these baller homes, go out there and provide opportunity. Like, the platform will always be here. So real estate will never let you down. But have you let real estate down?
Right.
And I want you, and this is not a point to you, Mary, this is a general message to everybody.
Right.
You let real estate down. Have you given of yourself? Have you stayed consistent? Have you stayed in the fight? Have you been disciplined with your time, effort, and your energy? And so this business will never let you down. But unfortunately, what we do is we let this business down. And man, Mary, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate your sentiment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being vulnerable. Really, really good share. I'm gonna go over to Hugo. Hugo, what do you got for us, big dog?
What's up, guys? Just quick contribution. I seen a video. I think it was pet. They call him PBD. Pet Patrick David. I think he has like an insurance background, and he was talking about how sometimes life comes up, the kid gets sick, kid gets in a fight, you have to go pick him up at school early or whatever it may be in life. Those quick things that we don't expect. Instead of being like, this is happening to me, just having the mindset that this is happening for me. How is this shaping me? How is this making me a better human being? And that just that hit for me, right? Because it really changes the mindset pretty quick.
You guys, I want you to think about what Hugo's saying right now, and it takes me back to John Cheplack. John Cheplack's daughter went back to the hospital this week. She had to go in for all kinds of testing, and she had all of these, like 100 of these things, like monitoring her brain and her heart. And she's got a 5-year-old daughter, and she has been in and out of the hospital and open heart surgeries. I don't even know how many at this point, but he's just like, you know what? I'm okay with whatever they hit me with, whatever the bill they put in front, whatever specialist they want my daughter to go see. I have worked my ass off to be able to provide for her any type of care. If we need to go to Stanford, if we need to go to UCLA, if we need to travel across the world, we're going to be able to do that. And that's the way that I want you guys to think, right? Our parents are getting older. Right? My mom has surgery this next month on her carotid artery. And I've said this time and time again, like, can we work our asses off? So if somebody in our family, listen, I don't give any handouts to my family. Someone wants to borrow money, they're going to have to compel me of why I should let them borrow money. But could I be in a position to help somebody get on their feet? Could I go and pay my mom's rent for the next 3 months if she had to be out of work? What am I going to do, mijo? Where's my money going to come from? Like, I don't want my mom to worry about those things. And each of us are in an industry that allows us to create unlimited opportunities. And if we could see that big picture far enough out to say, damn, what if somebody needs to go to a specialist? What if I was that person that says, you know what? I got you. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll make it as a family. How powerful is that? We all have the ability to do that. As long as we work our asses off in this business, guys, you can open up so many doors. So Hugo, I really, really appreciate that. And I love that contribution and that thought track. You guys, we're going to go into wins. I want 3 people to share their wins. Here's what it's going to be. Very simple. 1 professional win and 1 personal win. Maybe you hit the gym 5 times last week. Maybe you got somebody in whatever it is. 1 professional, 1 personal. I need 3 people to get in the queue. We're going to talk about some wins from last week. So I have Evangeline up on deck. Who else is going to get in the queue to share some wins? So David, Evangeline, I need 1 more person. And if you've never spoken on Keep It Moving Group Coaching, I want to encourage you to get involved in this conversation because everybody has a win. All right, let's roll. Evangeline, you're up next. David, you'll be on deck. And then Lisa, let's roll.
Hey again, everybody. So my win professional is I got my hire into contract last week, and that one was awesome because on this vein of consistency, I had been following up with this person for a year and a half. What it was is that I hosted a rental for one of my friends or family, good family friends, what have you. Found him a renter company, every single rental applicant came in, they're going to rent a house. They're a renter. So I took the information, I stayed on top of the down payment assistance programs out there, this and that, whatever. And sure enough, finally these people were ready. After a year and a half of follow-up, we went out and 12 homes back to back to back, all in the Hercules, El Sav, Pinole area, which is my stomping grounds there. And we got into contract on the last home that we saw. So that was really rewarding. And it's a quick close too. So we're gonna close here pretty soon. So that was, and it happened. I was starting to really feel like a real, because I'm a little greener, and it happened. We got our offer accepted the day that I closed on my San Francisco listing. So I'm like, look at me.
All right, I love this. Evangeline, it's a little choppy. Hold on really quick. It's a little choppy, so I need you to cut your camera just because it's a little choppy. But she closed on a 1.3 in San Francisco, and then the same day got into contract. Absolutely love this. And here's the thing, you guys. I closed once on a $1.1 million renter that started out as a renter that could only afford $3,500 a month prior, and then came into an inheritance and purchased a house up on Grizzly Peak, right? You guys like manage these relationships, see it all the way through, see what we can do to help them, chart a course, work with some Mandy, help them fix their credit, whatever you can do to help these people, because they may be renting now, but down the road, they're going to need your help. And so I love this follow-up. I love the follow through. Well said. Appreciate your contribution. Let's go, David, and then Lisa, you'll be on deck. David, what do you got for us? One professional win, one personal win. Let's roll.
One professional win was I got 2 buyers to agree to sign the buyer purchase contract.
Perfect. Love that, bro.
And one of them was a referral. So I got my first referral, and it happens to be my cousin. So I know you'd be mad at me because I didn't tell my family about me being a realtor. I know you'd be mad about that, but it happened to be my cousin who needs a referral. So I'm helping out him buy his first property. So that was a good professional win. Personal win was my kids got to spend the day with my grandparents, with their grandparents, my parents. So that was cool. That was fun.
Bro, first off, that second part of that, I absolutely love that. My brothers and I were talking about our grandparents the other day. We're like, when was this? When they passed? It was like 2012, right? And like for our kids to be able to spend time with the grandparents, man, I know how much that means to them and means to us. But that first part, bro, you let them know, David. You let them know that cousin David, nephew David, brother David is in the business to help them grow their money. Bro, that's what you do. We do this for strangers, and we do this for our family, man. So let them know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them grow and make sure that they're, building for the family, bro. That's what this business is all about. So I appreciate you, David. Well said. I appreciate your contribution. Let's go, Lisa. Lisa, what do you got for us?
Good morning. So, professional win is I have had this listing in Concord going for a month now. The seller is really adamant about he wanted to actually raise the price, and we hadn't even got an offer. And I was like, no, let's slow down. So he's finally taking my advice on a few things. Probably going to let me lower the price a little bit today or tomorrow. Um, got a new listing in Vallejo, so working on getting that prepared. And then I've been working with this one lady. I connected her with Samandi, and that relationship and the way Samandi takes care of people needing to work on their credit has been just a huge, huge plus. And it also just makes them feel like really cared for, and that we're looking out for their good long term.
Totally.
And so the connection there has just been really strong, just with that piece of it. And
Love it, Lisa.
so yesterday, she had been asking about possibly getting into another condo. And it looks like I thought it was going to be a year out or so. It might be a lot sooner. So now I'm putting together a net sheet for her to see if it makes sense sooner than later. and talk about being exhausted. So this weekend has just been super full. I came home, I tried taking a call from a friend of mine, and they're like, eg- you sound exhausted." I was like, I am, but it's been a great week. And then personal win is,
Hold on, Lisa, where'd you go? Stay with us, all right? Stay with us. You guys love light, positive energy to Lisa. We're having a moment here. What's going on?
personal win was hearing from my brother. I hadn't heard from him for about 5 years. We've always had, tips here and there, but never this long. Never this long. So I had ran into his coach um a, a few weeks ago, and I knew how much he had wanted to connect with his coach over the years, just to thank him for being such a great mentor and stuff. And finally got his coach to give me his number, because he would always be like, "Oh, give me his number. I'll call him." And he never called. Anyhow, they connected. And so my brother was really excited. He reached out and just said, "Thank you." And we connected for a minute. So it was good.
Lisa, I'm really, really happy for you. I really am. And we probably all have some of those relationships right now. I haven't spoken to my sister for a minute. I hadn't spoken to my brothers for a minute. And I know how powerful of a moment that is for you. So I appreciate you sharing here openly and being vulnerable as always. So let's send love, light, positive energy to Lisa. Really, really appreciate you going there. So thank you guys for your contributions. Thank you for sharing with us. We're going to go over to challenges. Who wants to share a challenge that they're currently facing or faced last week? I want to talk about this. So I need 3 people to get involved in the conversation. Be willing to throw your challenges out there. Maybe it's an operational efficiency. Maybe it's a dialogue challenge that you're having. Maybe it's a mindset challenge that you're having, because that is the power of this group right here, the power of the collective wisdom. And so, Cece, I'm going to go over to you. Cece, what do you have for us? What is the biggest challenge that you faced in this last week? Let's roll.
Okay, I didn't want to share it, but I will. I lost a listing. So I was devastated. The condo in Walnut Creek, it had only been listed 30 days, and we got one offer like on the 31st day, or maybe even the 30th day. And the seller just did not want to, he wanted full asking price. We went back and forth, and it just, I don't know. Finally, I mean, his attitude was horrible, and he just said, like, I want to take it off, take it out. When can the staging come and get the, you know, furniture out? And so it went from like 0 to 100 really quick. And I don't know, I was excited. That was my first listing, and I really wanted to see it through. And other condos around were selling, but they were priced significantly lower. But he was just adamant at this, price point. So
So a couple things here. I want to make sure I understand the challenge. What is the challenge?
well, I think the challenge was just understanding that process of communicating, ensuring that I use all the tools that I've learned of presenting the offer, and just all the analytics of like, these are the 3 condos that have sold at this price point, and then showing him the comps and just putting everything in front of him. I think, and it was just challenging to accept sort of that defeat. And then like Ophelia said, just making sure that, okay, that was that, and just kind of getting back, you're down, but then making sure that you get back up and just move on to the next one.
And so stay with me for a second, because I think this is a really powerful conversation. How did your communication with him, when he was being tough, when he was being a tyrant, when he wasn't listening, how did that communication make you feel when you were communicating with that seller?
Well, I tried not to take it personal, but of course it felt, I mean, this is a co-listing, so it wasn't just me, but I wanted to make sure that I did my part. So, I felt like, maybe I could have done more, but I really showed up again because it was my first listing. I was at every open house and just doing all the things that I've learned in this short amount of time. I just got my license 2 months ago, so I only know what I know, and but I'm relying on my sponsor, and I feel, we felt like we did a great job, and just
In hindsight, look back at the last 30 days, would you have done anything differently from a marketing standpoint?
yes, I would have priced it lower. I would have not taken the listing at that price point. I mean, I know sometimes people want the listing, so they agree to a higher, but like against your better judgment. But if the market's dictating that a lower price is where it is, then you're setting yourself up for failure taking the listing at a higher price.
So I absolutely love this because in this space and in business, we own everything, right? We own everything because the moment we own it, we could take accountability and we could change it. You learned a valuable lesson in taking listings here, right? It's not about taking the listing. It's how we enter the market in that first 7 to 14 days. That is going to be the most crucial time. And so it stings a little bit, but I think that sting is okay because you learned a really valuable lesson that you're going to carry on. And also it allows you to put bigger boundaries up and say, you know what, here's the strategy. And in my expert opinion, this is how we should enter the market. And this is what the data is saying. And if you want to go in higher, I'm probably not the person to list the home because we want to get the house sold. We don't want to sit it on the market for 30 days because then we're going to lose our negotiation power. And it's probably in your best interest to not lose the negotiation power, right, Mr. Seller? Absolutely. So here's the strategy, here's the market price, and here's how we're going to, to prep the home for the next 7 days, 14 days, whatever that looks like. But I think that you learned a really valuable lesson here. And now you just keep on working, go and find those other opportunities. So Cece, appreciate you sharing and congratulations on learning a very, very valuable lesson early on in your career.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff. All right, guys, that's one challenge. Who else has a challenge that they want to throw on the table and be bold like Cece was to talk about her challenge or frustrations, whether it's dialogue, whether it is a strategy, whether it is marketing, whether it's your videos, whatever it is. Does nobody else on this call have any challenges that they want to talk about? All right, cool. Let's go Steph, and then we'll go Christina. And Steph, I'm glad that you didn't ever buy the minivan, okay?
Seriously, yes.
Her husband tried to talk her into getting a minivan.
For years, he wanted me to buy a minivan. I said, hell no, you go buy the minivan. And my man is a car man, okay? We have like lowriders. He's got a semi on airbags. He's a car man. And for some reason, he loves minivans. I'm like,
all
dude.
right, listen, a mini old school. How many of you remember the old Astro van, square Astro van? That one, you put like 612s in the back, just boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Like that's cool.
I think that's what he
Everyone
was
remembers.
Yeah, I think that's what he was envisioning, a super cool, pimped out van. And I'm like, okay, well then you go buy the van, homeboy, because no, definitely.
All right, cool. Let's talk about challenges.
Okay, so challenges. I had a huge challenge that I wanted to share. Jessica Segura and I, we had a very complicated escrow. Poor thing, she showed these buyers about 20 houses before we finally found the one. And what I've never come across this before, but I wanted to share. If you have a Spanish speaking buyer, you need an escrow company that speaks Spanish. Normally, the sellers really push for whoever they have opened escrow with. And so we went along with it. And this escrow had 4 people on it. So 4 buyers. It was 2 brothers and then their wives. One of the wives was in Mexico. So we're coordinating all kinds of different things throughout the process, right? We had to get the wife to sign a quick claim at the U.S. consulate in Mexico. And meanwhile, mind you, escrow doesn't speak Spanish. So everything's being funneled through us. And so I found myself taking over escrow's position. I'm like, what the hell? This isn't what I do, and I know loans, but I'm not an escrow officer. So I wanted to share, if you have a Spanish speaking buyer, please get an escrow officer. Push to get that escrow officer that speaks Spanish because it's crucial. they need to be able to explain these things to the buyers. And that was a huge challenge because I was the middleman. And there's only so much I'm legally allowed to help with, right? And I'm not an escrow officer. That's not my area of expertise. Jessica, she's a realtor, she's not an escrow officer either. So it was really, really hard. And I had never come across that before. Maybe it was just because it was a complicated escrow that it kind of stood out even more. But I just wanted to share that because it was a struggle. And I think it was a learning curve for both of us. So going forward, you need a Spanish speaking escrow officer always so they can handle that part of the transaction.
This is a really, really good reminder, but I wanted to talk to you and ask you, I guess, a more serious question about what's going on with ICE right now. And if you have I-10 buyers that you're working with right now that you're trying to get pre-qualified, is there some fear within them? Are they, like, I don't know, from a lending side, I feel like it's important. You guys are seeing the news of what's happening in Los Angeles. I actually was on the freeway yesterday and we had to get redirected, but like, are you seeing that with your I-10 buyers? Like people are like just so fearful and like they're retreating right now. What are you seeing from the lending side?
People are very scared. They ask me, "Are you do you report to immigration?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. We are completely separate from the IRS." And you buying a house is one thing, but I did see reports that now the IRS has asked, or I'm sorry, what is it? Basically, the government is now asking IRS for tax records for those people with I-10. And that is something that is kind of mind blowing, because I've been telling people, because we don't work with IRS, lending IRS totally separate, right? That's why we have all these special programs where we can use bank statements, etc. So no, we don't report I-10 to the IRS, but now the IRS is coming in and they're going to have to hand over information for people who have I-10. How ironic, right? Here's an I-10 number. I will collect taxes from you, billions of dollars of taxes, but now I'm going to report you to Homeland Security. So very interesting. Things are changing and there is a lot of people are scared, but then I also have buyers. I got 3 I-10 buyers right now, and I think for them, I've told everybody, this is what we need to do. You buy the house, you have the money, buy the house, secure something for your family, because this is still their future here, right? They have kids that were born here. Put that home in a trust. Make your kids the beneficiary. So if something, God forbid, if something does happen to you, your family is protected. And that home is your home, and nobody's going to be able to take it from you.
Wow. Really, really good advice. Ophelia, you took yourself off of mute. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I had asked Stephanie this question many months ago in the very beginning. Remember, Stephanie, I asked you this because I had clients asking me the same thing. Like my I-10 clients were calling me. They're like, is there any chance that they're going to come to my house? I'm like, I don't know. I go, but you know what? Let me talk to a lender. And she gave me the whole like, no, we don't work tandem, this. And now it's happening, which I saw the writing on the wall. However, it is imperative that if both are on like most of my clients, both husband and wife are I-10, they need to get a power of attorney to a relative to put their children on there. There's also getting in a trust and having all of these legal forms and appointees, like she's a beneficiary, is immediately. If possibly, now this is kind of touchy, if you have a citizen relative, add them to the title too. It's going to probably trigger an adjustment in your property, but there's like an umbrella, right? If they're deported and there's a U.S. citizen in title with all the other proper documentation, that property stays there, right? So it's yeah, I had a workshop a couple months ago, with an immigration attorney to come talk to a lot of county residents because of this.
Yeah, it's a scary time. Like it is really a scary time for a lot of, I saw it yesterday and I just, I don't agree with resorting to violence, but I can understand the frustration and the fear that these families are experiencing, especially, I have kids here and I have grandbabies here and we've raised our life here. And so I appreciate you giving us some light on that, Stephanie, as well as for you, Ophelia. But, if you're not dealing with this right now, you may. you may deal with this, you guys. So it's important for you guys to have adequate information to make sure that you're serving them. But I think Stephanie said it, no matter what, put this in a trust, because this is something that your family will inherit, so they can build no matter what the circumstances are if it does go down a negative path. So Stephanie, I appreciate your insights on this. Let's go, Christina Macias. What do you got for us? Challenge.
So I have a challenge with some buyers that we're working with. It's a couple, and I feel there's a language barrier. We've explained the process, did like a showing buyer consult with them, and we've been showing them a lot of homes. But when we tried to set them up with the lender, they've told us like we prefer in person, so we got that all going, and they're like, yes, we agree. They keep visiting properties online, and we could see their activity. And every time we call them, they'll pick up, they talk to us, but they're just not moving forward. So I'm trying to figure out, is it the language barrier, or like I don't know how to keep moving them down the funnel, because when we do engage, they do meet us, we do show them properties. And then, like, for example, the last one they liked, it was a BMR property, so below market rate. And they were telling us, it's like 3 people, it's them 2, and they have like a younger son. And so they said that we told them you have to make under this amount. And then later on that evening, they were like, oh, okay. In person, they were like, oh, okay, I think we can. And so we sent them with the designated lender. And then later that evening, she was like, oh, we thought about it more and we can't afford right now. And so I was like, wait, do they not understand that it's as long as you make below this amount, or are they saying that they make more? I just don't know how to keep moving this client, down the funnel.
All right, Christina, just a couple clarifying questions so I can have more context here. When you say language barrier, what language do they speak? What's their native tongue?
It sounds like it's Ethiopian or Eritrean, like that region.
Do you know for sure?
Not for sure.
So if you feel that there's a language barrier, maybe there was somebody else on the team or somebody that's in our organization that might be better equipped to communicate with. First off, let's find out, because there might be some things that they're not telling you. There might be some things that they're not opening up about. And so in order for us to get to the truth, we got to find out what's going on. We have to find out, because then you feel like you're just like running in circles. And I feel right now running in circles. And so I would find out what that language barrier is. If there is one, reach out to somebody on the team. If you want the list of all the languages that people speak within our organization, there might be somebody that might be better equipped to find out what the truth is behind any of their fear or trepidation. And so maybe it's not a language barrier, maybe it's just an understanding barrier, but we're going to get there through the language. And so find out what it is. And, maybe just asking them, listen, you guys, other than this, are there any other fears, trepidations, or doubts that you guys have right now? Because it feels like the conversation is changing. I want to make sure that I can best serve you and understand your situation. And so there's a couple ways to go about it. Bring someone else on the call, or then just simply ask them and see what's going on. And maybe they'll tell you, maybe they'll open up, but also maybe there's a lot of fear, right? Like maybe are they I-10 buyers as well?
No, they're not.
Okay.
But I feel like we have a good rapport. Like they've given me a nickname that I could call her and everything. So it's like the trust is there, but I think it's just like there's some roadblock because of I'm pretty sure she told us the language is Eritrean, and so we haven't been able to find anyone that speaks that language. But so that's just been the challenge. But I will keep reaching out.
Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. Aaron, Chris B, Patrick, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and contribution. You know what? Yes, Jamie, yes. I'm going to go into Slack right now. But Aaron, any thoughts and contribution on that? Have you experienced this situation or a similar situation? Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I mean, you've pretty much said it. I mainly tap into my people. I mean, even when I was doing loans, Stephanie used to speak to all my Spanish-speaking buyers for me. I tap in with Hugo, Jessica, Ophelia. So that's been my main way of dealing with it. ChatGPT has really upped the game on communicating with people like via text. Like I used to do it with Google Translate and it came out all funny. But when I was recently doing it with Google with ChatGPT, I run it by Hugo or Stephanie, like, hey, does this make sense? And they're like, damn, that shit is amazing. And so using ChatGPT to translate in their native language helps out when you can like text communicate with them. So you might be able to articulate a little bit better using ChatGPT.
Clever. I like that. I like that. Chris, do you have any contributions? Chris B. Any thoughts on this? If you're experiencing a language barrier or maybe a cultural barrier, anything that you've experienced in your past that you could add some light or some color on this? There he
Hey,
is.
what's up? What's up, y'all? Just washing my car. But yeah, when I feel there's hesitation or like there's a misalignment, I don't waste any time. I nip it in their bud right away. Let them know that like I'm here to help you reach a goal. I've printed the roadmap to it, and you're not allowing me to help you get there. So what's the hesitation? We need this pre-approval done, because when we find the right opportunity, they're not going to take you serious, and we're going to waste time and possibly lose the opportunity. So I'm very blunt and straightforward. I nip it in the bud. If I see any hints that they're just like wasting my time or not serious or don't want to take the extra step, I cut it off and move on to the next client. That's just me though. You know, some people just drag it along and kind of, but I don't like wasting time like that. If they don't follow my exact steps as I say, then I spend it on someone else that will.
Smart, really good stuff. So hopefully there was something in there that Christina, you know, here to help. It's a very unique language and to try to find somebody within their environment. But you know, just having that real talk. Sounds like you've built really good rapport with them. Like find out what else is, hey, you guys, listen, I know we talked about our strategy, what my offer strategy was, what the game plan is, but I feel like we're derailing from the strategy and the game plan. So I need to understand, is there anything else that is going on? Because I want to be able to best serve you. So let's throw it on the table. Maybe there's something I haven't addressed. Maybe there's a fear. Maybe there's a doubt. Maybe there's something that you need to know in order to feel confident to move forward. So before we do anything else, let's unpack whatever that is. And oftentimes, if you face it head on like that, you're going to get to some truth that maybe they haven't told you thus far. So Christina, I appreciate you throwing your challenge out there. I want to go here, you guys. I got a couple things I want to share with you as we start to wrap sesh. I want you guys to go into this and I want you guys to ask yourself, if I followed you around all last week, would I say your actions match your ambition? Why or why not? And you guys, I want you to sit with this. If somebody was in your car with you, or they were at your desk last week, or they were sitting in the office with you, would they say that your actions matched your ambition? Why or why not? And let's match our calendar to our character. When you look at all the things that you know that you need to do in this business, do you have a calendar that reflects that time, effort, and energy that is needed for you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve in this game? Which one area of your business are you currently overcomplicating? And how can you simplify it this week? Success favors simplicity executed with intensity. Some of you are cerebral. What I mean by that is that you overthink everything. Before you take action, you want to uncover everything. You want to know everything. And at the end of the day, you guys, you're not going to know everything. There's so much that happens in the moment, in the transaction, in the process, in the door knocking, in shooting this shitty content. So much happens in those moments. And what we do is we overcomplicate it. I need to know this. I need to know, understand everything on the contract before I prospect. What? Go and meet some people that want to say, I think I want to write an offer on this property, and then we'll be able to help you. But a lot of times you worry about shit and you overcomplicate things and you're not even there yet. So try to make things more simple for yourself in your business as you are growing. A couple other that I have here. Whose life be on your own will be positively impacted when you show up fully this week. And I say this week because I'm always about Mondays being the needle mover in your business. Whose life beyond your own will be positively impacted when you show up fully this week. Let your purpose be louder than your excuses. And I want to say that last line for everybody in the back of the room today. Let your purpose be louder than your excuses. And I want you guys to go to the board. We do this every single Monday. This is not new. Only thing that fits into your box is your numbers. No excuses, no bullshit, no stories. What are the numbers? What's going to impact your business this week? I need to make X amount of conversations. I'm going to knock on X amount of doors. I'm going to drop 7 videos this week. I'm going to be in my stories every single day. I'm going to send that newsletter out. I'm going to follow up with all my people from yesterday's open house. Like, get clear with your numbers. Quiet all the noise and all the bullshit and just say, what are the numbers that are going to move the needle forward in my business this week? This week, I will move the needle by put your outcome there. I commit to these action steps and I'm letting go of this distraction or this excuse. This is what's going to set the tone for your guys this week. Be able to get so clear on that. Take action steps that are small that will get you to where you need to be by next week. Small steps every single week, you guys. You don't have to take a bite-sized chunk out of this business. Take a small chunk out of this business and say, this week, I'm committed to doing these activities because I know the impact that it will have on my life, business, health, and relationships. So I'm going to stop there, you guys. We're going to go around the room, get a couple key takeaways from people on the call today. Let's go to Stavo. Stavo, one key thought from our time together today, big dog. Let's roll.
One key time from our time today is I'd say sorry, I'm blanking out right now. I just got
what's one takeaway from our time together today? Don't blank out. You've been here the whole entire time.
One key takeaway is I just received a message right now that made me blank out right now. My bad.
All right, I'm going to ask you a better question. What's one thing that you're committed to accomplishing this week? If you're going to move the needle in your business, what is one thing that you're committed to accomplishing?
One key thing is follow up with all the people that showed up to my open house yesterday and see how I could assist them, and also pop up to the office at multiple times this week as well.
I love it. Listen, everybody that came to your open house gets a video from you. Every single person that you have their phone number, you send them a video. Hey, this is Stavo, great meeting you, whatever that messaging is, and I can help you with that. But everybody gets a video, and I absolutely love this, my man. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being present. Jamie, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together. And David, you're going to be the last contribution. Let's roll, Jamie. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, consistency is the thing that I took away from today. Because I read a quote this morning that said, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. So, so that's what I took away from today. And just getting on my videos, no excuses, just do it. And overthinking is my main problem. Overthink everything. And so that will stop today. When you think about it, don't just dwell on it, just do it. So that's one of my key thoughts today.
That's right. That's right, Jamie. And Jamie, I put a message out to our referral network. I did it right here. So hopefully we get some responses back. And a lot of times they'll just slide in DMs. So hang tight. As soon as I get a referral, I'll send it over to you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You got it. All right, David, last contribution, key thought, key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
Key takeaway was the first thing you posted about the winners. And it reminds me of when Michael Phelps was racing against this one race, and he was like, the guy was looking at him while he was racing, and the quote was, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So it's just focus on what I got to do, and to help me grow this week, I'm going to try and do some more role playing.
I love it. David, blinders onto the world, right? I don't care what other leaders are doing. I don't care what other teams are doing. I don't care what other coaches are doing. My head is down and I'm focused and I'm running my race, right? I'm running my race. I have run through the wall fucking energy. I'm running my race. And that's what I want for each of you guys. Run your race your way. Compare yourself to the self that you were yesterday. Look at yourself in the mirror. That's who you are in this fight against. You are up against that person in the mirror. So you are either going to show up for yourself or you're going to continue to sit on excuses and bullshit. That choice is yours. And only you have to sit with that. Nobody else has to sit with that. That's on your conscience. So do something that is going to raise your level of consciousness in this business right now, today, and move the needle. You all have skill. You all have game. You all have a voice. Every single one of you has it. What are you going to do with it today? What are you going to do with it this week? Go out there and shine and be the amazing humans that you are, and go and move the needle in your business this week. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make today a day that matters. Peace.